Oh my
That's okay.
gosh.
So we did accidentally forget to hit record, but that is a-okay. So if you're getting this video and you have not actually been here when we're doing it, that is a-okay. This is a super simple piece. So I don't want you to freak out if you're coming in and we're like almost done with our pieces here. So don't worry about it.
You'll give a quick recap, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
And I must disclose that was my error. This is my very first class that I've been on with Amber. I have like sat and observed, but this is my first one without someone sitting right beside me. So that's my error.
That's okay.
And Dory will be discussing this with me tomorrow, I'm sure.
That's okay. This gives everybody else some time to get caught up to where we are. My piece I want to let dry actually a little bit before I do a second coat on it. So while that dries for the recording process of the video, I do want to go ahead and just kind of backtrack a little bit for those that do go ahead and click onto this video and watch the recording. So if you are just now getting onto the recording, what we did first is I took all of the pieces out of the bag. You have one larger bag and one smaller bag. And then you should have a rubber band around your entire piece. You'll take that rubber band off. You want to be mindful of your windows. You want to make sure they stay on the same side because it is handcrafted. So you just, if they get switched, they will not actually fit into the actual board itself, with the way it's supposed to. So you'll lay the pieces out. What we did first is we actually did the door and the windows and the roof. So all that is in your 3 paint containers that you would have gotten. It's the brown color. So you just take your paint, dump it out onto a plate, get your paintbrush a little bit wet, and then you'll just go through and paint it just like Connie is right now,
Mhm.
painting the larger piece. That's all you'll do. And whenever I actually get the paintbrush a little bit damp, it just helps to smooth the paint out. When you say it like
Yes,
you don't get
absolutely.
like the streaks and stuff as you normally would. And these paintbrushes we send along with you are new. So, and I do want to say you are allowed to use any colors that you would like, if you don't want to use our colors. And you can also mix our colors and make it different than this actual piece here. And that is what I actually did is I went through and I did I did like a paint wash. It makes it look almost stained. And that's how I got this color here. So that's what I did. And then this, I did like a sponge technique, but without a sponge. And I just used my
Mhm.
paintbrush. And I took my paintbrush and dabbed it right on. So you want to get all of those pieces completely painted. And if you do the solid color, it is going to take probably 2 coats of that. But like I said, if you do any other different techniques, it might only need one, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Everyone does it differently because Connie did her door frame. This it's a like a lighter solid, and to get that color, so it would be this door frame here. To get that color, it's a good bit of white and just a little bit of brown is what
Mhm.
we did to get that color. And then
Mhm.
once you get all those pieces painted, then you'll take and get your actual gourd piece, which is what Connie was just painting here.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I
then
will definitely need a second coat on that.
yes, mine will absolutely need to, which is perfect that I can stop and explain. So those that just come onto the recording can get kind of caught up here. And then I do want to mention too, for those that are just watching this, I would absolutely do the inside cutouts of your door, the diamond, and your door, your windows on the
Mhm.
inside.
Mhm.
You don't have to do the outside edges of those 2 pieces. Your door frame, I would absolutely do the inside cutout, but not the edges. And then your little top, I just did the top and then the very edge that's cut, not the actual inside of your gourd. So I wanted to mention that. And then I also want to mention on your bigger piece, you're going to want to also do the inside cutout of the door and the windows there. But you don't have to do like the cutout of the bottom here. So that is where we are. Like I said, we're almost done, but that's okay. That is a-okay. Since this is recorded, you can absolutely go back just a little bit to when I started explaining everything, and you can rewatch it. So if you need to, kind of, if I went too fast or whatever, you can absolutely just hit rewind and go back and listen to it here.
And my apologies for missing the first part of the video.
That's okay.
That'll be
And
something I will remember next time.
absolutely. And that's how this works whenever you actually like, and even in like production wise, whenever we're back there, when we make a mistake, we remember it. It's like a thing
Yes.
in our brain that we just will never forget. So, and it is not all on you because that is something that I should know too to just do. So that is a-okay.
Okay.
Yes, a-okay. We got everybody caught up here, and we're good. And by all
Great.
means, if you have any questions that we did not answer in this video, you are more than welcome to contact the retail store, and Connie might answer, or it would be Dory. So absolutely go ahead and ask any questions that you would need to finish this project if you would need to.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And remember to go to our website and click on events, and that's where you're going to see all of our upcoming Zoom classes. And if you live close enough, if you can visit us on the farm, we have some farm classes coming up too.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so once this layer dries, I'm actually going to go back and do a second coat. So that's what I'm going to do now.
Okay, mine looks pretty dry.
Yeah, I think mine does too. I think there's like a few spots that aren't super dry, but I think it's on the side that I ended with. So I'm just going to start on the other side and
Okay.
work my way around, and hopefully by then it'll be completely dry. And I really like it that we did two different
I went lighter, added
yeah,
white to my green, and she added brown.
I did.
So we got two
Yeah.
entirely different
And
colors here.
this is what it actually looks like, just this. So mine is just like more like an olive
Yeah, I would say.
and then yours is just like
Mm.
a lighter, like I wouldn't
I
say
don't know what you
pastel.
would call that. Almost, but not quite.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can have this is pieces, or you can just make it your own, and it's so simple to do, and I love it. That's what's really nice whenever if you are in the area and you do get to make it out to one of our in-person classes, it is so cool to see all of the different ways people do the same project.
And I'm not artistic whatsoever. Uh, but I really enjoy this.
Yes.
It is a good time.
Yes.
And with instructors like Amber, I think it's pretty hard to mess it up, and she always knows how you can fix it if you do make a mess up.
Most of the time. There might be a few times that there's something that I'm like, I don't know, let me just go get you a new one. Uh, but yeah, honestly, you do not need to have any kind of creativity, none of that. Because I know a lot of people get kind of, they shy away from these type of things just because they're like, I'm not creative, I'm not artsy. You don't really need any of that to do this.
No, take my word for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And it is fun. We have several customers that like to order our Zoom classes together. And then they get together at one of their girlfriends' houses, and like four or five of them will be on the Zoom class. And, they might be sharing a bottle of wine and snacks. So They just make an evening of it, which I think is absolutely wonderful.
It is.
Makes me think that we need to take time to get together with our girlfriends more often.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah. I think the second coat on this covers it beautifully.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was having some issues with like streaks, and I had just like some stuff in my paint. And I don't really know. It's still there, but it's okay. Um, I just took my paintbrush and kept putting it into our, that's what this is here. I have my water dish, so when you see me doing this, that's what's there. I just put my paintbrush into the water dish and um got a little bit more paint on my paintbrush then and just kept kind of going over it to help get rid of that.
Okay.
But all in all, I
I
think,
think, yeah, I think I'm about done with the second coat here.
yeah. All right.
Excuse me. Now, I did not put a second coat inside my windows. Is that all
No,
right?
that is a-okay. I did not either. Because I think because the insides of the gourd are very porous, like even more so than the outside, I think it just soaks it in a little bit darker anyway. So it just kind of compensates for when we actually get the final color that we want.
Okay.
So as I am waiting for my larger piece to dry a little bit, and if you guys are too, what I would do is I would just kind of look at your pieces and be like, do I like the way the windows and the doors and like the frame look as like up to next to my gourd? And if not, that's what I would do now is go ahead and change them and or fix them if they needed fixed, if you want to.
Now I have in my door frame, I have brush strokes.
Okay.
What would you suggest to get rid of those brush strokes in my paint that is now dry?
So I would go back and do take your paintbrush and
Mhm.
get it a little bit, I would get it wet,
Okay.
um a good bit, not just damp.
Hmm.
And I would use the same color that you used and do like a light coat
Okay.
and brush over that. You have some green in there.
Oh boy, that wouldn't look good.
I wanted to mention that before you went.
Yeah, I do not need green in my door frame.
Yes. Though I think it would be okay because I think it would actually like tie
Okay.
together a little bit. And I am also just rubbing the paint off of my fingers with a baby brush.
I saw you had a couple layers on there.
Yeah, because when I go to hold the gourd, like I said, I stick my fingers up through the bottom, and
Mhm.
so I just get paint all over them. And as Connie mentioned earlier, I have a toddler, and she will definitely point that out when I get home. So I like to just try and get most of that off.
I can imagine what your hands must look like by the end of each day.
Actually, so when we are doing any kind of, the only time we do adding paint to a gourd is when we're sponging it. Um, and when we sponge, we actually use gloves.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't honestly I get more paint on my clothes than I do on my hands. So
I should have known that.
yeah.
I should have known that. My husband actually works in the same department as Amber does, and he is the one that actually paints the gourds. They have spray guns,
Mhm.
and he paints them. And the ones that we dye, he actually, most of them he dyes with a big paintbrush.
Yes.
But the smaller pieces, I believe I have seen him like soak them in the dye and then take them
Yeah.
out and dry them with a soft cloth.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But this year we actually have a lot of sponged products, don't we?
Yes.
So Amber gets to sponge a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, and I do have two other team members that do the exact same thing that I do. And so I don't do everything. So thankfully I do have two other girls that help me with it. So it was
Mhm,
a new sponge technique. So I did a lot of it just because it is new and I was actually trying to figure it out on my own because I don't it takes them a little bit more time than it would
mhm,
me. So I wanted to make sure that I had it down before I had them do a whole bunch of it because it was definitely a different technique this
mhm.
year. And I enjoy it. It's so
Yeah,
much
you
fun.
definitely have it down.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I still see some people painting away,
All
but
right.
that's okay. You guys can keep going. Um The next thing that we have to do, we're all done with our paint as long as all of your pieces, you like it, everything looks good. Um, so we're all done with that. So you can absolutely kind of put your paint and stuff to the side, and you'll want to get your glue. So your little glue container, that's this here. And then you'll want your two Q-tips. And I do want to mention those that had hit record that just came in once the recording started and you're getting it like a day or two from now. Um, if there are, I don't know if I mentioned, if there are pieces that didn't come in your kit that we are using, please let us know and we will absolutely get that sent out to
Mhm.
you.
Yes, absolutely.
Remove all this paint so I don't get it on me.
It's too late for me. I'm sitting here like scrubbing. Oh, where'd that
That's
green come from?
that's what I did too. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to explain how we glue this all together.
Perfect.
It's super simple. Um, so, like I said, you'll want your glue. So you'll open your glue container
Mhm.
and then you'll want one of your Q-tips. So I think what I want to do is glue our windows in and our door frame. And I want to do all together because it's the exact same thing for all of them. Because then we can just go put them in and then, so I'm going to hold it as if I was painting it again, just to give it a solid, sturdy like hold to it. So this is
Okay.
how I hold it. I just spread my fingers in the bottom there. To get the glue out, I just take my Q-tip and dip it right in. You don't need a whole lot of glue whenever you go to do this. You don't have to put glue on both of the or all four sides of the door frame. And you don't need a whole lot of glue, just enough that it's going to actually touch. And I would keep the glue on the inside cut of the cutout,
Okay.
just like that. So not touching the actual top here, just on the inside. Because when these windows do go in, they do leave a little lip, and it just helps to prevent some of that glue from pushing up. We do use tacky glue, so it's just like I forget what the brand of our tacky.
Elmer's. No, we don't use Elmer's. What
No,
is
and
it
that's the one that
called?
I wanted to say, and I can't for the
Yeah.
life. I use it every day,
And I
but
don't
I
have
don't.
any here to show.
No, I use it literally every day, but I can't tell you what the name of it is. Oh, Eileen's. I believe it's
Eileen's?
Eileen's tacky
Okay.
glue.
Okay.
So it dries clear, and so if you do put a little bit too much of the glue on, that is a-okay. What I would do is I would just wipe off as much as you can, um, and then let it go because it'll dry clear. The only time you really see it is if it's super clumpy, because then you'll just see a clear
Mm-hmm.
like lump. Um, and then to do the door frame, I just put, I'm just gonna go through and do all three pieces. If you want to do it one by one like Connie's doing, that's absolutely okay. So she did the door
Okay.
or
And
the window. and then she put it in,
And I
then
used the right window
Yes.
because it actually fits perfectly.
yes.
And I see I missed a little spot inside the window, so I'm just gonna cheat and rub it on there.
And I wouldn't worry about if your inside cutouts are still wet, or like damp. That is a-okay. You won't see that once you glue your pieces in. So I'm just, like I said, rubbing this glue around the edges there. You don't have to fully cover the edges. And I'm gonna do all three. So I did my first window, the door frame, and now I'm doing my second window. You just rub it in there. And this does kind of get a little bit, the Q-tip gets kind of wonky. So I actually am going to put it down and use my second one, which is why we like to send at least two, just to give you the ability to do that. So I did all three. And so now I'm just putting them in.
Okay.
And what's nice is, as you can see, I needed to flip mine because it was upside down, and you'll be able to see that. Like you'll put it in and you're like, oh, this just doesn't fit right. Try and flip it if that's the case, because it might just be upside down. And if it's not working, try your other side.
I wonder if I put my window in upside down, now that you say that.
You might have.
You think? See how I have the extra
Yes,
space
you
there?
did. Mhm.
Oh my goodness. I
Yep.
told you not artistic at all.
That's
Okay.
okay. And what's nice is even if you have to take it out, I know you're putting extra glue on it, and that's
Mhm.
a-okay. But honestly, you might not have to do that. I think there would be enough glue because there's already some on from you putting it
Now,
in.
is this the way up? That looks better.
Yes.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is possible to put your windows in upside down.
Yeah.
And there, I missed some on that window too, on
I
the
don't know. I
inside.
almost think your windows might be backwards.
Oh, don't say that, you think?
I think so. They don't look like they're fitting in completely.
Uh-oh. Okay, so I can still pull them out.
Yes.
Okay. So let's try this.
So even if you do mix them up, I think it's easy to try and see if they.
It really is. Oh, boy, I really messed those up. Okay, so not only did I have it upside down, I had it in the wrong window.
Yes.
But I still have enough
okay.
glue on there that I think it's
Oh,
gonna work.
Yep, it'll be a-okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that looks so much
Good.
better. Amber really knows what she's talking about. Okay.
It's like a perfect fit. If it looks kind of just
Wrong.
off, yeah, I would just try and flip them upside down, mix. Yeah, I just would try to, because like you can absolutely see it if it's
Yeah.
not the right one.
And when I took my windows out, I was being so careful and kept them on. But then as you're painting everything
forget
and
about
moving
it.
them around, I totally forgot.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. It's a thing. So once you get those glued in, then you're gonna want to glue your door in, and it's just the same like we did our windows and our door frame. You're going to put the glue on the inside corners of the door frame, and then you'll stick your door in. And then we do still have to glue our top on, but I will have us glue the door in first, and then I will explain how we're going to glue that top on.
And my door frame, because I put that extra coat, it's still a little wet, but it didn't make a difference. It
Yep.
went in there just fine.
Yeah. If you did go to your second Q-tip, just make sure you keep it so we can do that top. Almost looks like an army cottage.
Oh, the shade of green.
Yeah.
Well, you know
I
what?
really like it.
My son's an Army veteran, so I like it.
Yeah.
I'll take
I
that any
really, really
day.
like it. And it's perfect because you could leave this out like all year round.
Oh, definitely.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. Love, love, love it. And it's like I said, I try to do it a little different than this. And there's nothing wrong with this. I just like to do it differently to show you some, try and get some new techniques and stuff out there just for you guys. Yeah. Another second or so here, and then I'll explain how we put this top on.
Okay. You got a little bit of glue that's it out. Just wipe that off.
Yep, yeah, just take your finger, and if you have some uh seeping out of like your door frame, I just take my finger and run it along. And that's just enough to get a little bit of it out and that it dries completely clear. So you should be a-okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm really happy that Connie and I have two different tops, so I can explain how to do both. So this makes it perfect. So if you have a top like Connie's, all you're gonna do, and top meaning this cut here. So hers is cut and mine's the gourd. So there's two different ways that you're going to have to glue it here. Connie's how hers is cut is so much easier.
Oh, good. I need
Yes.
that.
It's so much easier. All you'll do is you'll take the remainder of your glue and put it around the entire rim of that. And
Okay.
then you'll just take your top and stick it right down. It
Okay.
is super simple. That's all you do. Now, if you have one like mine, and I hope not many of you have one like mine, what I would mention is I would stick your top on without the glue, figure out where you wanna kind of put it. With how Connie's is, I don't think it'll matter if you have to take it off and remove it to switch it around. So that's why I didn't have you do it for hers as well. You're probably gonna want a little bit more glue than
A
that.
little more glue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hers, as you can see, she has it on there, but I would really try and get it on the outside
Oh,
rim
okay.
of that, just and make sure
Okay.
it's super globby.
This is super globby.
Yeah. Okay. So when you put this top on, for those that have one like this, you'll kind of feel where it hits on that gourd top here. And so I think what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you put a whole bunch of glue in the actual top of this here. If you hear that this top piece, mine, since it's so slender, it does hit the actual top part here. So no matter where I put that glue right in on the top there, it'll fit. If you have a wider piece, it'll actually be put on the inside of the hole here. So that's where I would kind of pinpoint where you're going. But if it's slender like this, just stick it right on the top there. And I would use the remainder of your glue for the top, just so you know it sticks. And you could honestly put the glue on here too. I think I'm gonna do both. How'd that work?
That
Does it
worked
feel
great.
secure?
It feels secure. Just don't, try to pick it up by the
Yes.
roof. I'm used to doing that in the store when we're moving them around because they are like
Yeah.
really solid and they will
Yes.
stay on there. But don't
Yes.
try that right now.
Right.
But-
So since it's the tacky glue, what's different than the hot glue is, one, it dries clear, and two, it does not dry as quickly as the hot glue. So hot glue is very nice, but it also doesn't hold as quite well as the tacky glue does. So we just like to use the tacky glue to make sure it's holds really well. And yeah. And you
Okay.
can like, if you push down and you lift up just a little bit and it holds, you actually have it held together and it's good. It's tacked. But if you lift it up and it absolutely just pops right off, you don't have any of it touching your top to your gourd. So that's how I would test it.
Okay.
I can
That's good.
feel it just because I'm used to doing this in production. So I know what the feel of it is. But for you to test it, I would just like lightly pick it up and see.
Okay,
But
so
other than that, that is
that is
everything with your
it.
gourd piece. Don't forget you have your little light cord here.
Mm,
This just gets plugged into the wall and it has a little switch to
which,
light that up.
yeah, which definitely serves as a good solid base for it. Helps
Yes.
it fit nice and secure and even.
Mhm.
Now, if you wanted to give it a little bit of a sheen and
Yeah.
protect the paint,
Mhm.
what is it that we put on them?
Polyacrylic is what, or polyurethane. Either one will actually work just okay because there's not actually white on this cord. I can't off the top of my head. I always get them confused. There is a specific one that if you do have a solid white color, you don't want to use because it actually will yellow
Mm,
the white. So either one for this project will actually be a-okay.
okay, okay, and I think it is the polyacrylic comes, we actually use a clear satin, I
Yes.
believe.
Mhm.
It comes in a spray can. You can get it anywhere at Lowe's, Home Depot, even Walmart probably offers that, but it'll just give it a nice little shine and protect it. If
Yeah.
it would get bumped, it's not going to chip the paint off.
Yeah, and what's really nice is most of the paints that we actually send along with you already have that kind of sheen within the paint. So if you don't have the means to go get this spray, you absolutely don't have to. This paint is secure on there. It should not flake off if you
Mhm.
don't spray.
You,
Just because
yeah,
a
you
lot
can
of
kind of tell on this one that it does
it
already
already.
have the shine to it,
Yeah, it
and it looks
does.
great.
Now these ones that we like watered down the paint a good bit do not have the shine like this paint because they were watered down so much. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Any questions from anyone? Okay, well, we love it whenever you actually share your project. So if you would put it on Facebook or something and tag us, or even put it on our Facebook page, we would love that. We love to see them.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so if there's no questions, thank you all for joining us. Amber and I always have a great time,
Mhm.
and I do apologize. Bear with me, I'll get better as these things go along. So have a wonderful night. Okay.
And then you can hit end there.